My name is Julian Davis, and I'm the CFO of H2NO. As a 14-year-old, I founded the eco-friendly clothing company Mars. I've gone through the rewarding process of both filing for and registering a trademark with Mars. My knowledge of how finances work in real business and my enthusiasm to make a profit is what qualifies me to be the Chief Financial Officer of H2NO.
Now, here's Julian for finances.
Helping the consumer, maintaining a clean environment, and having an exponential return on investment. The three factors for success that H2NO focuses on. Our projected income statement can be found in the packet handed to you at the beginning of this presentation. It was carefully crafted after researching 43 other startups' financials. In terms of revenue, as you can see on this graph, we will overcome our initial loss at the beginning of our second fiscal year, as we will profit just over $313,000 in 2016, and then $1.23 million in 2017. Since we're going to become fairly profitable in 2017, during that year, we will begin reinvesting into the company to really perpetuate our growth. Our total operating expenses for our first fiscal year are $429,000, which increases annually by an average of 27% to account for the projected growth of the company. Remember that market survey we talked about earlier? Well, we also asked the people willing to buy the product exactly how much they would pay for it. The average price was $34.61. This statistic helped us determine that selling the product at a price of $39.99 with potential to increase or reduce based on actual market feedback is the perfect price. It's a great balance between keeping the customer happy and optimizing our profit margins. Speaking of profit margins, our initial cost per unit is $13.99. With the information given to us by Qingdao Runzing Photoelectric, we have created two graphs. One that gives our breakdown of the CPU over these 3 years, and then the other that gives our total CPU for these same 3 fiscal years. Keeping all this financial information in mind, in terms of ROI, investors can expect to earn a 110% return on investment after just our 3rd fiscal year.
So, quick question. So you talked about Liquipel taking 4 to 6 weeks. Why do you think that your solution, and what makes your solution be applicable in 15 minutes? And why do you think that Liquipel or others cannot do it?
Well, so what we learned from Liquipel is that the technology that you can use to make a foam water resistant does exist. So what we're trying to do is feasible. And since H2NO only takes 15 minutes, it's clearly a superior service than Liquipel that entails you to send your phone away for
The question is why?
So Liquipel requires your phone for 4 to 6 weeks because that includes shipping time. So our product, you're delivering the spray yourself. And Liquipel, what their actual application is, it does take a similar time frame. It's just the shipping is just not, I mean, it's not as, like our product has a superior time frame.
Another marketing question. When you looked at the 3 different, I think it was 3 different market areas,
subcategories,
had you looked at the cost of acquisition of each of those, or looked at the potential growth of each of those being a differentiator? Because it was nice to explain them, but possibly something that makes them more material as to why those 3 sectors are important.
So you're referring to cost of acquisition for one customer.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that is $3.99.
And it's the same no matter which sector?
That's our average for all the sectors.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
the other question I have is, you said the cost was $14.
Yeah.
And the price is about $40. This $14 includes all your costs to advertise on Google and Bing and all of that?
No, so that's actually the price to get the compounds made and shipped to our door. But then the marketing budget is another aspect that we are specifically using, the $700,000, part of the $700,000 to start with, and then using our earnings to reinvest into the company in later years.
And if you check in the income statement, you can see the breakdown of our marketing budget, and then if you can also see the visual that breaks down our CPU.